Hello guys, good evening and welcome back. So here I want to show us how to draft a female short. So the first thing you will do is to mark out your baseline, which I have already done, and then you mark extra 2 inches here. Now this 2 inches is going to serve us for the folding or hemming of this short. So you have it all through this way, and then you mark the line all across from this direction to this very point. Now, on female shorts, you now have to know from your client if she wants it to be fitted or free, because there are different fitting choices that female normally request for. So here, my client wants to have a free fit, like not too tight, not too big, something of moderate. So here, the short length we have is a short length of 15 and a half. So here you mark 15.5. It's going to be a very short, like short, right? So 15.5. So you mark. So this will be a belt all through. So it won't have elastic or rope, just a belt all through, but it will be fitted around the waistline. So here you connect the line in this form. So you have the line coming in this form, and the next you will do now is to get the crotch. So how do you get the crotch? Divide the hip by 4 minus 1 inch. So the real hips of my client I have here is 44. So divide by 4, that's 11 minus 1 is going to give me 10. But then I feel in this particular outfit, I need to manipulate the crotch depth so that it won't drop or slack. So I am using a crotch depth of 9.5 for her. 9.5 crotch depth is what I am using. 9.5 inch crotch depth. And here you connect the line all through this way, right? All through this way. And then to achieve the fitting, you are going to use the lap measurement, because the lap is what we are going to use to draft the hip and the ankle, the knee, right? So the lap is 30. So divide by 2, you have 15, right? And bear in mind, if you divide lap by 2, it gives you the person's hip by 4 plus extra 2 inches. So wherever the lap ended, that's here, gave me 30. I will mark 2 inches inwards this way. So this is the constant, the one of the methods you can use to achieve this. So you mark all through this way, and here this is what we have, right? And then we are going to now take whatever value you will have on your hip measurement and then transfer to the waist. So here now this becomes my hip, so 13. So I transfer it to the waistline this way, mark in this form, and then I will mark the line to go all out in this direction, right? And then from this point I'll now mark the waist backwards. So the waist we have 32. So divide by 4, you have it to be 8. So you mark 8, then plus extra 1 inch. 1 inch, right? So you must mark 1 inch in this form. So after this, all you need to do now, since we have a free shot, just take down the line on the crotch to go down straight. It goes all through this way, and you take your pattern master or your hip curve, and then you place in this direction and make a curve that connects from here to this very point. So it just go all through this way. It goes all through this way. So this is the connection it looks like. And then you use your hip curve and connect the 1 inch extra you have on your hip, on your waist, to your hip point. So it has this curve at the side here, right? So it's giving you that female effect that you are looking for. So because of the fact that the customer doesn't want it to be so fitted, that's why it's having this shape. So we are going to cut out this and then place to recut for the back bodies. So here I am cutting from here all through this way, all through this way, and make sure you cut exact of what you have drafted out. So here is where it is, and then you cut it down all along this way, and then from here you cut from here again. It goes all through this way. Then you slit these points. You slit these points. And this is what we have. So now we are going to use this now to draft the back panel. So watch how the back panel will be drafted, please. Okay, so now for us to draft the back panel, I have to fold the fabric in this form, and then I will place the back piece, the front piece in this direction. So this is where we have little difference or change in regular patterns, right? So please watch attentively how this will be drafted. So here, once you have gotten this folding in this form, so the next thing you will do now is to, this line that came out from the side will continue in that direction. In this direction, it goes all through this way. And the next you will do now is to mark your waist backwards. So remember the waist was 32, right? So here you mark 8 inches as well. 8 inches plus the regular allowance we add on the back panel, which is 1.5 or 2. So let's add 2 inches because of that and everything. So 2 inches will be ideal. So 2 inches. And this point of 2 inches, you raise by 2 again. You raise by 2 inches again this way. And then you are going to find the exact height of this short, that from here to know the actual height. And then the raising goes to that same point just this way, right? So it goes all through this way. Here, when you have gotten that point, then bear in mind that the front panel, I did not slant it initially because of I knew I will use it to raise the back. So the front panel, you raise here by, you slant by half an inch. That's 0.5. You slant by half an inch and then slant in this form. You slant all through this way, and then I will just cut this out. I will just cut this out. So why I left it before is for me to first of all raise here before the cutting. Then I will now bring out the crotch line here, and also bring out the short length, and of course here will be 2 inches as usual. 2 inches all through this way is needed. Then this line, this hip line will be placed in this form, and then we are going to now check for the hip measurement again. So 15 plus extra 2, that's 17 right there. So this is extra 2 inches. So from here we are going to make a connection that goes all through this way. You see, right? This is how it will be. So the back panel will be a bit different from the regular. So once you have gotten to this point, so the next you will do now is to cut out, but make sure that every panel, every piece is being held evenly. You cut out. So the fabric I'm using for this is Duchess. You can decide to use any fabric of your choice in cutting or in drafting yours, but I prefer Duchess because it's slippery and shiny. It's slippery and shiny. So you cut all the way to this point, cut all the way to this point as well. So you now slit this area. So make sure you follow the pattern so that you understand, you will get the same results. So after you have done this now, this is what the back panel will look like. This is what the back panel will look like, right? So we are going to cut the components, the flap, the band, and I will show you as well the sewing process in this video.